In this episode, we're going to take another look at Fistful of Joes and do a quick review of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, so stick around. Hi, and welcome back to my side of the laundry room. My name's Rob, and we're going to start tonight with a quick review of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I need to warn you that I am totally old school analog on this, and I just pointed a camera at the TV. The quality isn't the best, but I discuss how much fun I'm having with the game at being 8 hours or so in. Believe me, this is a massive game, but I'm just talking about just hitting the road and starting out, and I'm probably about, well, at that time, about 8 hours in. So, check it out. Hello and welcome to Quick Review. This is Rob, and we're going to be looking at The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. First off, let me say that I have not really played a Zelda game since the original NES ones. I played the Wind Waker just a little bit on the Wii U, but not that much. So this has been a return to me to a great franchise, and I've noticed a lot of things that really play on my nostalgia, but we'll get into that as the video goes on. Like I said, this is a quick review, so I'm not going to get too in-depth with it, but let's just take a look at it, shall we? And I have to warn you, this might not look the best. I don't have a fancy PC setup. I am shooting this right from the living room TV, so if it's not perfect, I apologize. So let's go to somewhere that's not as that I'm not as embroiled in a quest. That's the one thing about this game. It does not hold your hand. You are thrust into things, and you have to kind of figure them out as you go. Which is, it's a steep learning curve, but very fun. As you can see up at the top there, my hearts are blinking. I only have 3/4 of a heart left, so let me heal up before we do anything. As you can see all this delicious food here, I actually prepared myself, which is a neat little mechanic of the game. That you make a delicious looking food. There you go, Link is eating these steaks I have prepared. And sorry to jump around already, but let's go somewhere that might be a little bit more fun to start. And as Link teleports here, let me get back to the game doesn't hold your hand. And what I mean by that is, it's an open world, so you stumble into stuff that you know as soon as you see it, you're way in over your head, and a lot of times it's too late. As soon as certain villains see you, you are dead meat. But it's not that big a deal. You die, you resurrect, very close by, and you just know to steer clear of that area. Now, I'm excited to, I can't even say level up, there's no levels in this, but to get gear and to advance enough where I can take out these bad guys that are sprinkled throughout the world. But here's a little village as we start our quick little adventure today. Don't mean to give away any spoilers, but that is the house I bought for Link over there across this bridge. I won't go in it because I don't want to give away any spoilers. I don't know if you can see this, but look at this volcano in the background. Very badass. I'm sure I'll get there sooner or later. And that's another thing. I've only played the game maybe 10 hours combined over the past couple weeks, and I love it. I mean, I cannot comment on anything of the end game, but I am having so much fun just adventuring. And one thing about this game, I mean, I've been playing adventure games, fantasy games for 30 plus years, and I have not felt awe like I have playing this in a very long time. Because I'll paint the scene here, because I can't get to the area at this moment. But just imagine, like, oh, look, a meteor just fell. That's cool. That's a quest. I need to watch them at certain places. Anyway, I climb a mountain, and as I get to the top of it and I look into the misty background, got a problem, buddy? Got a problem, Thad? As I'm looking into the distance, misty trees, I see a large tail of something that just dipped behind, and I mean super large from the distance of, I'm assuming, is a dragon. And I just stood there just in awe because it just took my breath away. A, it was a beautiful sight, and B, it's like, oh my god, what is that, and when will I be able to engage it? One of the neat things Link has, and again, I don't know if this is something that's been in the series before, but I have this cool glider. Oh, people calling for help. Here I come. Oh, look, we can get into some combat here. Oh, and I don't have a weapon. Let's use up this sword, and I will explain this. Oh, as you can see how quickly that broke. The one thing about this game is you don't have gear for long. I mean, your armor and stuff you do, but as far as weaponry, you go through it quickly. So don't get attached to anything. But that's the fun thing. Like, I just picked up the crap weapons these dudes had, and I'm going to use them, and they're going to break, and I'm just going to pick up more weapons and use them. It's very ad hoc, and it feels like a real adventure. Like, I'm just using the shit that's around me to save the day. You can climb almost anything, which is neat. As I show you here. Hiya! Y'all okay? Are you gonna go back looking for mushrooms or something? What's up? Truffles? Y'all just got attacked. Why don't you go back to the village? What's wrong with y'all? It's dangerous to go it alone. Yeah. Get some practice fighting. I've saved these cats before. It's almost like a nightly occurrence. But this is a truly living, breathing world. And as I talked about the food, another thing is hunting is a big aspect of this. And that means foraging for vegetables and truffles like those people were doing, or even hunting deer and boar. And if we can find a food pot later, I'll show you the cooking. Hey, what's up? See, sleeping, prone, boom, headshot. Oh, it didn't even wake his friend up. Boom, Link's a ninja. Hell yeah. I don't need your crappy sticks right now. Like I said, living, breathing world where these cats are just sleeping. Unfortunately, they're sleeping on a main thoroughfare here. I guess that's how they could rob people. But let me run back up to the town real quick. And like I said, we'll try to make this quick. A quick review. Because believe me, I could just sit here for hours and play this. Great rain. Yeah, it is great. The weather dynamic is great. One of the things is, too, you need to dress appropriately. I've gone into cold areas without good gear, and have frozen to death. Until I bought the right gear of a heavy coat. Up ahead's a shop. And there is a crafting system in this. I just have not been made privy of it yet because I have a lot of great elements for making things, but I just don't know how to make them. I'm sure I can make fire arrows and cool stuff like that, but I don't know how to yet. Okay, cooking pot. Here's some right here, and of course they're not lit. So there's two ways to do this. I'm going to I'm going to show you both ways just because it's a neat game how they do this. So we're going to go here to our inventory and grab flint. So we're going to hold it and then place it here by the wood. And then I'm going to take my sword here and look, flint and steel spark fire. Here's another way. I'll go to our inventory again. I have my handy dandy torch. And see these lamp lights? No, of course now it won't do it. Oh, come on, you sucker. Anyway, I'll show you this way since that's being difficult. But I lit my torch with the fire, and look, I lit that. So now we got two nice little comfy fires going. But here, let me show you how to make a cool meal. Go into inventory. Let's make some pepper steak. So grab the steak, which I've gotten off of a boar or a deer or something. Highlight it. We're going to hold it. Let's add some herbs to it for flavor, and then some spicy peppers. So we go back and let's cook it up. And I love this little cooking song, so hopefully it comes out on the video. Let's see. Boom, and now we have a delicious meal. And the picture it makes it look like something I want to eat right now. But you can see this gives us cold resistance, which is good for like what I was talking about with the coats and stuff. And it gives back 5 hearts. Now, one of the big things about this is stamina that you need to have. You need to expand it as much as you can because climbing uses stamina, swimming, and there's nothing worse than being accidentally in the middle of a river or lake and you run out of stamina before you can get to the other side and you drown. You know, let's bust up these pots. You know, Link is famous for that. But you can find rafts, which is that little lizard. Get out of here, lizard. Trying to think if there's anything else that's great about this game. Oh, horses. I have a horse. The only bad thing is when you leave it somewhere, that's where it stays. And so far I can only find one stable that you can retrieve your horses at. You can call it, if you can hear that. But it says, it seems Shadow couldn't hear your call because he's somewhere out in the middle of nowhere where I had to leave him because I got thrown into some adventure and something happened. So my poor horse is out there alone. I can't retrieve it, so I have to hoof it everywhere. Unless I find a wild horse that I can jump on and ride around. But you can have like 4 different horses. I have 2 at the moment, and that's just for aesthetic. One is gray, which I named Ghost, and one is black, which I named Shadow. The story of the game is amazing. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but the one thing about the Legend of Zelda series is the continuity is all over the place. But this seems like a good jumping on point. Which I have to say, I do recommend the Switch for anyone that's looking for a nice little home console for casual games, fun games, just colorful, childlike games, which are also challenging for an adult. I don't know where the life cycle is for the PlayStation and the Xbox right now, but at least with the Nintendo Switch, it's only been out for a year. And with its success, I see many years ahead for it. So it's at a good jumping on point. And with this game being part of the first generation of games that have come out for it, and some of the other ones, which I'll do quick reviews down the road for, I see good things in the future for the Switch. So I highly recommend that. And I highly recommend this game. I think every Switch owner owns this game already, because it is just a landmark title that is, it's a beautiful game. It's great. Highly recommended. And anyway, I should end it there to keep this a quick review and not just a super long review. Oh look, a rusty halberd. We'll pick that up. So, thanks for watching. I'm just going to glide on down here. And until next time, this has been a quick review for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for the Nintendo Switch. See you next time. Okay, I hope you liked that quick review. Now is a segment I like to call Yo Joe! Okay, the gist is I have all my G.I. Joe figures in little plastic boxes, excuse me, like this one. I have no idea how many of them are in here, but what I do is I just yank a handful of Joes out, fistful of Joes if you will, out of the box, and I just talk about them. Mostly my experience with them. Oh, keep this a blind grab. Nothing too scientific. So let's take a look, see what I got here. Okay, ooh, looks like I got a couple good ones here. First up, I've had this dude ever since I was a kid. He has seen better days and he is missing all of his gear. But Crocmaster. Sorry about any blurriness there. Now, of course, one of the best things about Crocmaster was he came with a big crocodile, alligator. But another cool feature he had was he came with a bullwhip. And that's something I wish I still had. But such a great figure. Menacing, spooky looking, stalking the swamps with his gators and his crocs. And in the comic, he patrolled Cobra Island. And the alligators and stuff were like watchdogs, and they would attack people and eat people that tried to infiltrate the island. Like I said, I've had this figure ever since it was released. This is OG original. I'm the only owner. He's still very posable, in good shape, but minus a lot of his gear. Well, all of his gear. Who am I joking? But I love this figure. Always will have a soft spot in my heart. Anyway, on to the next Joe. Sorry, bagging them up. I keep them all bagged. Ooh. The OG Cobra Commander. Now, he's in pretty good shape. Other than he's got one little scuff right there on his face mask. But this I bought secondary. I never had him as a kid. Always wanted him. Even have his gun. A buddy of mine in kindergarten got him mail away. And I was so enthralled by the character. And memory serves me, this is even before the cartoon came out, so I had no idea. This was just an awesome looking guy. Oh, I don't want to force the gun in there and break a thumb. But like I said, I picked this guy up at a flea market, reasonably priced, in great condition, even has his blaster here. which almost looked like a signal flashlight. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be, laser gun or something. But always going to be a fan of Cobra Commander. Toy, comic, cartoon, what have you. Very, very militaristic looking with his high collar and his side buttoned uniform here. But love this dude. Sorry for the buzzing if you hear, getting texts or something. Email, who knows nowadays. Another one. Picked this guy up super cheap on the secondary market because nobody really wants him, but I was always a fan. But Crystal Ball. There's like a rumor about this character that Stephen King helped design him. And all he came with, I might be wrong here, was a shield with a well, like a linear picture on it of an eyeball and swirl because he hypnotized people. And he looked straight up old school European gypsy, like from an old 50s drive-in movie, with his fur collar and leather tunic. But I was always a fan. He made a couple appearances in the comic. Always dug him. Great condition, probably because no one wanted to friggin' play with him. All the screws are still nice and silver, no rust. Sorry, I'm not checking his gender here. 1987. The only thing really wrong with him is he's missing his shield and there's a little scuffing on the back here at his hair. But what cool hair it is. I wish I would go gray like that. Who am I kidding? I wish I still had hair. But if I had hair, I wish it would go gray like that. Next, Joe, or Cobra, will be my personal favorite. This is dumb luck that I pull him tonight. Pachuckles. Now, recently, I think more people dig them because of what they did in more recent comics, which I haven't read. But to me, of course, he's very much inspired. Oh, he's got a loose head. Very much inspired by Miami Vice. And this is my original character, my figure. He's very scuffed up and well played with. But very inspired by Miami Vice, like I said. Like he was a DEA undercover type of operative for G.I. Joe. But to me, that put him up on a pedestal because I was not allowed to watch Miami Vice growing up. So this to me just felt like having a little bit of that show when I couldn't watch it. Like it was very taboo. So to have this, I just felt like, ooh, I was slightly empowered. Oh, sorry for the loose head, my man. But awesome floral Hawaiian shirt here. He came with a cool shoulder holster that you actually put on, which was very rare for a Joe figure to have, and he came with a pistol that went in. Jesus Christ. But one of my favorites. Just for the weird things the kids think sometimes. I'm sure that's why a lot of R-rated movies were made into cartoons and toys and comics like RoboCop and such, because it gave kids a sense of empowerment because they weren't allowed to watch the R-rated movies. I wasn't allowed to watch Miami Vice because it was violent and my parents thought it was over my head, so why even bother? Now this is Shockwave, the Joe SWAT officer. Got some problem here in the hip area. Awesome. Awesome paint job. Awesome character. Awesome design. Has the urban oh man, you're loose, dude. But urban camouflage of blue and yellow. Urban for the 80s, of course. Hiding in a roller rink or discotheque. But yet again, with this mask, he could stand in as part of a ninja brigade or something with snake eyes. And of course it's busted, but this is the original Uzi that he came with a silencer, but it had a stock that came out that is long gone. But this is one of my originals as a kid that I held on to. He never met any cruel fates of some of my toys when I became older, which I still kicked myself over. But awesome, awesome figure. Now, that was 5 G.I. Joe characters, figures of that I used to have, that I've bought recently, that I love. So, I hope you enjoyed that segment of Fistful of Joes. Anyway, we're going to call it a night. Thank you for watching, and stick around for the next episode of It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. Keep being rad and stay dorky.